You can tell the summer is over by how many mass shootings there were last week. At this time, there have been 9 reported mass shootings. I had gotten so used to 20 a week, I had to recount it a couple times just to make sure. And spoiler alert, Chicago miraculously did not have a single mass shooting. September 29th in McGregor, Texas, 5 were killed and another injured in a domestic violence situation. A mother, her 2 children, and 2 neighbors were killed by the mother's partner, Nicholas Hernandez James, who was shot and wounded by police as they attempted to take him in. Also on the 29th, in Topeka, Kansas, 1 was killed and 3 injured in yet another domestic situation. Officers identified and located the shooter, who took them on a high-speed chase. The suspect then fired at officers who returned fire, and at least 1 officer was hit by gunfire, and the suspect was critically injured. On September 30th, in Marks, Mississippi, 5 people were injured following a shooting after a high school football game. Many others were injured during a stampede of panic as a large group began fleeing. Also on September 30th, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1 was killed and 3 injured at yet another high school football game. 17-year-old Tehran Yarbrough was identified as the victim that died. Another 17-year-old, as well as a 20-year-old female and a 9-year-old girl, were among the injured. McLean High School, where this incident took place, gets a 1 out of 10 rating in every category. It has a 60% graduation rate, and only 1% of the students are performing at grade level in science, reading, and math. The school is 45% black, 37% Hispanic, 7% white, and 1% Asian. And somehow 87% of the teachers have 3 or more years experience, yet only a few students are at grade level. And Chicago didn't make it in this week, but you can always count on Philly to come through. On October 1st, Philadelphia had its 21st mass shooting of the year. 4 were injured as shots were fired just a block from a hospital. All were brought to the hospital. A 20-year-old male was in critical condition after suffering a gunshot wound to the face. The other 3 were shot in the chest, ankle, and hand. Also on the 1st, 2 were killed and 2 injured in Oakland, California's 4th mass shooting this year, resulting in more deaths than the other 3 combined. All 4 victims were juveniles attending a birthday party where someone entered the home and began shooting. On October 2nd, 4 were injured in Seattle, Washington. This is the first mass shooting in Seattle this year, a city that saw 4 mass shootings in 2021. According to a witness, 2 men got in a fight outside a bar, and 1 took out a gun and fired at least 5 rounds, striking 4 people. Also on the 2nd, 4 were injured in Nashville, Tennessee during a drive-by. Police found at least 35 shell casings that stretched the entire block. This is Nashville's 2nd mass shooting this year. October 3rd shows no mass shootings, but on October 4th, 4 were killed during another domestic situation, this time in Layfayette, Louisiana. The gunman, Andres J. Felix, killed 3 people at 3 different locations, including his estranged wife, and then shot and killed himself. Well, that's it for this week's mass shootings, but I'll be back again next week where we can see if Chicago can go 2 weeks in a row without a mass shooting. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next week.